Hello everybody, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year for 2022. Now, for the last couple of days we've been planning a series of videos for 2022 and looking at how we can expand the channel here on YouTube. And I realised that I've probably never spoken or explained to you why I feel I'm in the position to teach floral design on YouTube. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a video explaining to you my floral journey and how I became teaching and how I got involved in floral design. And it's quite a long journey. I'm 52 now and I started when I was 17. So I was fortunate enough to start in a florist shop when I was 17. So I left school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was quite creative, quite artistic. My original thoughts were hairdressing, which didn't work out. And I started in a florist shop as a junior. I trained with a lovely girl called Melanie, and she taught me everything to do with sort of the daily floristry activities. So how to look after flowers, how to arrange flowers, how to serve customers. And after a while, I decided that this was really something that I wanted to pursue as a career, and I headed off to my local college. So this probably would have been about 1989. And I thought I pretty much knew everything about floristry. I could make baskets and flower arrangements, and I thought I was doing quite a good job. And I headed off to college, and I embarked on a 3-year floristry qualification at 1 day a week. So we went 1 day a week for 3 years to a college that was probably about 40 minutes drive away from where I lived. And we went right back to the basics, and we had to start all over again, relearning and trying to lose those bad habits that we'd picked up over the coming years. So bench trained is what you tend to do in a shop. So bench training is when you get trained by a senior florist, a trained florist, and you get maybe trained by the owner or the boss of the business. And then sometimes people learn in college and they don't get bench training. Some people only have bench training, and that's entirely personal and entirely optional, whichever way you travel through this beautiful floral journey. Now, I joined college and I think I did quite well. I passed with quite good qualifications, and I was quite ambitious, wanted to learn more. And after the first 3 years of doing traditional floristry, I then did a year of business studies. And by this time I was quite keen to have my own business, and I opened up a shop of my own, and I expanded that to 3 shops in South Wales. I won lots of awards. I was very competitive, used to enter lots of competitions, and I always wanted to be the best. I wanted to be better than the shop next to me. I wanted to be better than the shop that was down the road. We had a huge customer base. We were extremely well known for providing fashionable and exceptionally good quality weddings. We had a huge funeral business where we supplied most of the funeral directors here in the area as well. And I really thoroughly enjoyed everything that I was doing. I used to compete in any competition that I could, sometimes not so well, sometimes and often winning first or second or maybe even third prize. And I was really addicted to everything that was floral design. I absolutely loved floristry. So I trained to level 4, so 3 years in floristry, and then a year of business studies. Now, this was back in the day where City and Guilds would do levels 1 to 4. Now it's slightly different. There are BTEC courses, there's MVQ courses, and unfortunately, if you're in Wales, there are very limited amount of floristry courses that you can train and learn the industry. And there are many people in the industry that have had no training at all and have picked it up as they've gone along, and you know, hey ho, well done to those people. But for me, there is a massive amount of floristry, technical and skill based, that you have to learn. There's how to look after flowers, how to care for them, how to display, how to cost properly, marketing, advertising, budgeting, business plans, learning how to deal with your accounts, speaking to bank managers. There's a massive amount of running to a business that isn't just about making a pretty floral design. So then for several years I ran my own business, and then come 1997 my young son was born, and I decided that I no longer wanted to be in the commercial industry any longer. I wanted a little bit of a break, and I spent some time at home with my son. Then my second son came along in 2000, and I started to get a little bit of itchy feet. I'd done a couple of part-time jobs in between. I'd worked in a clothing shop, I'd worked for a nursery. There were various other jobs that I sort of pursued in the meantime, just to keep a little bit of income coming in. I didn't want to be in the floristry industry. The peak periods are what we call Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and of course Christmas, and they are absolutely chaotic. They completely drain you. Until you've worked in the floristry industry, you have absolutely no idea how much hard work it is. Lots of people say to me, oh, it must be amazing working with flowers all day. Well, it isn't. It's bloody hard work. And you either love it or you absolutely hate it. So 2000 came along, and I was thinking, oh, do I go back into floristry? What do I do? And my ideal job became available, and that was lecturing at a local college. So it was teaching level 2 floristry, and I also did lots of evening courses. So we specialised in weddings, funeral work and that type of thing. And I absolutely loved my time with the college. But the job, unfortunately, wasn't really going anywhere. It was staying as a one evening a week, and wasn't growing as quickly as I wanted it to be. So I left. And then I got offered a fantastic job back at the college that I'd done my training in when I was a young florist. So I went there 2, possibly 3 days a week initially, and that grew into what I would describe as my absolute ideal job. Now, what I've forgotten to mention at this stage is during this time I also trained at what we call an intermediate certificate in floral design. Now, the Society of Floristry used to hold exams, the intermediate certificate and the national diploma, and at the time they were the highest accolade you could get in floristry. Now there are college courses that you can attend to get the same level of qualification, but it has a different name to the certificate that you get. Now, when I was working for this fabulous college, I also did my national diploma, which was at the time the highest qualification that you could get in floral design. It gives you the initials NDSF after your name, which is the National Diploma of the Society of Floristry, and it was what everybody strived to do in the floristry industry. So I sat that exam, I think it was in 2004. It's a very nerve-wracking exam. You enter a hall where all your flowers and your accessories and whatever, your mechanics are given to you. You have a designated time limit to make 5 designs, and then you leave the room and the judges and the examiners come in and mark your work. And I was successful in passing the exam. I passed first time. I was absolutely thrilled and delighted to have been able to pass the diploma. And then I decided that maybe the job I was in wasn't moving forward as much as I wanted it to be, and I left. And fortunately, I got offered a job at another local college where there were more hours and a much more challenging role. And I got the opportunity there to teach a variety of different levels. And I also taught City and Guilds and OCN, which is the Open College Network. In the previous job, I'd been teaching MVQ as well. So I travelled an awful lot with the job, back and forth, different florists, and I really did love it. I loved meeting new florists and seeing how they progressed from those very first times of trying to make a design to becoming fully fledged florists and having all those skills that we all really would like to learn. And then, totally out of the blue, so I had this fantastic job. I was in a wonderful position, we were made redundant, totally and utterly out of the blue. And it really did knock me for six. It put me in a position that I really don't want to be in ever again. And it took me a long time to sort of recover from that. And then I got offered another job teaching. And I was a bit reluctant to go back to the teaching job because the redundancy had devastated me so much the very first time. I was really quite nervous about going back and applying for the job. But again, I was successful in the interview. And during that period of time, I studied to become a qualified teacher. So during my teaching, I did the postgraduate certificate, and I'm now a fully qualified teacher. And again, after I persevered and did my 2-year training as a teacher while working as a floristry lecturer for the college, we were again made redundant. Now, it's because there's not a great deal of funding available for florists, so we were the sort of last on the pecking order where the college was concerned, and we were again made redundant. And I was determined that this time it wasn't going to affect me as badly as it had the first time round. So I left, I found a local hall, and I started teaching very basic courses in the beginning, just workshops, 1-day classes, 2-day classes, and I built up a little bit of a reputation, built up a nice following of people. And then I moved to NAFAS, which is the National Association of Flower Arranging Societies. And again, if you Google them, you'll find lots of information about them. And I ran several courses, 30-week courses, some 10-week courses, and that was ticking along quite nicely. And again, maybe 2 years ago, I decided that I really needed to expand, and rather than hiring a local hall, moving all my bits and pieces through from one venue to another, I really needed to find something a little bit more permanent. And that brings me to where I am now. So now I have a small studio. It's brilliant for me because it means that I can load and unload much easier. I don't have to store materials in my home and in my garden shed. I have one place to work from. Brides can come and see me here if they want an appointment to talk about their wedding flowers, and I can also teach from here. So I can do one-to-ones, I can do video tutorials like this one, I can do Zoom training, and I can do 10-week courses or 30-week courses or whatever it is I fancy doing. And again, I thought everything was coming along tickety-boo, and what happened? We had a pandemic. So back to the start of the pandemic was roughly the same time as I moved into premises. It all sort of went a bit downhill. And again, I had to diversify. So to keep the premises and to keep myself employed and earning money during the pandemic, I did everything and anything that was possible. So I moved lots of my workshops onto Zoom. I sold lots of plants and compost and cut flowers, and I delivered lots of workshop boxes. So what that basically means is you participated in a workshop with me, but instead of being in front of me and in the same room as me, you were behind a screen, just like I'm talking to you now. Sometimes they were live via Zoom. Sometimes they were through a private YouTube video. So I would box everything up, everything that the recipient would need to make a beautiful flower arrangement, and I would send that off to them in the post. And then in their own time, they could watch a YouTube video, or they could join me at a particular time to do a Zoom session. And here we are. 2 years later, we're still at it. We now have quite a successful YouTube channel, which I'm hoping will expand really well over the next year. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, and I don't even know if I've introduced myself. So my name is Sharon Dower, and I'm from Floral Innovations, and I like to teach people how to make floral designs. Now, at the moment, everything that I've sort of been teaching is what I would describe as flower arranging. So it's arranging for the home. There isn't really a commercial aspect to it. It's just buying flowers from your local supermarket or buying flowers from your local florist shop. Might even be flowers that you grow in the garden. And I've been teaching you some very basic videos, or very basic designs I should say, on how to make the most of those flowers. What I don't do, excuse me, is I don't tend to teach commercial floristry, and that's because I feel that there is a lot more involved in commercial floristry than there is in just arranging flowers nicely for the home. But if you want to see more floristry, so if you want to learn more florist designs, things that will be sold from a florist shop, how to tape and wire, how to make a buttonhole and that type of thing, then you really need to add it into the comment box below, and I can add it to the schedule of works for the next year. Now, what I'm also hoping to do is to provide some worksheets or possibly workbooks to go with each video. And if you feel that is something that will be beneficial to you, then again, add it in the comment box below, because it will really help me plan and schedule work for the new year. Give me a list of the designs that you would like to learn. Ask me questions on things that you don't understand. Tell me where you're watching from, because I love to know where you're from, because you seem to come from all over the world. And if there are videos that you particularly like and you would like them explained again in more depth and more detail, then again in the comment box below. For us to expand, for this channel to become bigger and more popular and for more people to see it, then you really have to be quite interactive with me and like and share, comment in the box below. Please subscribe if you're enjoying. If you're not enjoying, tell me why you're not enjoying, because that will help me too. And hit that bell. If you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, then hit that bell. It's really very important. And I'm just hoping that I've given you a little bit of an insight on why I think I suit talking to you over a YouTube tutorial, where my skills and my qualifications have come from. And I really do love it. I absolutely love flowers. I love anything new to do with flowers, any new mechanics, any new tools or equipment. If you're a supplier and you have something that you would like me to talk about and something that you would like me to demonstrate, then give me an email. So I'm on sharondower@hotmail.com, very easy to remember. And I look forward to expanding over the next year and increasing my subscribers and really just helping more people, because I really love what I do. I love passing that knowledge on. I've gained over sort of 35 years as being both a florist, a commercial florist, working in a whole range of shops. So I've run my own shops, I've managed other people's, I've worked freelance, I've done events work, weddings. There's lots up here, lots to come out, lots to talk to you about. And I'm hoping that you're really enjoying everything that I've been doing, and I look forward to giving you some more videos in 2022. So again, thanks for watching. Please interact with me in the box below and let me know what you like, what you dislike, what you'd like to see. Any feedback, any comments would be really quite helpful. So don't forget, I've been a florist for over 35 years and I have a whole wealth of information and experience that I'd like to share with you. And I look forward to doing that in 2022. So bye for now, and hopefully we'll see you all again very soon.